Disappointed, but first to give credit to Indiana, not only their football team, their football coaches, their staff, but to that entire stadium, to their administration, anything that they did. I think this is a very impressive venue. Obviously, we didn't start off good, which added fuel to the fire, but, I've been around this league a long time, and that was a very, very impressive atmosphere to be in. To a good credit to them. And then, anything that we did, if there's one thing that I, saw right away, right, like the momentum swung and we just never able to get anything back on us, offense, defense, special teams. Obviously, the punt miscue, we actually only had 10 players out there on the field, which threw our guys' count off and freed up a guy on the backside edge. And we walked into it in our direction of our punt. Defensively, they really attacked some of our leverages. And some of the things we'd obviously put on film, they had a good plan for. I thought this staff, has really traditionally over time, over watching them the last couple of years, have taken advantage of what you give them as good as anybody. So we've got to really assess what we do defensively, and then offensively, we just never got anything going. Had too many second and longs, which led to third and longs. Obviously, too much pressure on Luke. We can't play a game like this, so we got to really look at our protections and what we're asking our guys to do. We can't have him get hit the way he was and have any success. And obviously, we've got to be able to run the football a little more consistently. However that has to happen with the personnel groupings or the schemes or the plays, it's definitely a recipe for failure when today happens. So at a loss for words, I mean, I've never been a part of anything like that. The thing that jumped out to me as we began to unfold in the second half was we just didn't have answers for what they were doing, and they kept pouring it on, which was exactly what they should do. So I don't really have any injury updates. I've never been a part of anything like that. We lost, I believe, 6 of our 7 top DBs, one before the game. Obviously, Xavier's still getting some information gathered on that. We'll probably have an announcement on Monday, see exactly where that's at. But there were still some things that we were considering, or he was considering. But I'll try to give information on that as soon as we can. But those guys that left the ball game today, I know a couple of them were X-rayed. I believe Caleb got an X-ray. His was negative, but he couldn't return. Matt Krasedic was almost able to go back in, but he couldn't. Matt Bailey was with a head concussion, and Torrey Cox got kneed in the stomach over there. Who else? Miles Scott obviously had to leave with the targeting call. I know he was trying to lower his head. It's just a really tough part of football. I don't think that was intentional. I get why they had to call it. I thought it was his shoulder, but he got his head involved there. I guess the only thing that's left to do is just literally go low, right? Which I don't think that's healthy for our game either right there. That's just a part of the game that unfortunately got to live with right now. And when they're in that RPO world, that's just something that is kind of a natural byproduct of it, the way we play defense in the middle field hitter there. So I don't have any updates on injuries other than that. So with that, open up for questions. Well, I think 2 things. What we were asking them to do, we have to make sure assessment-wise. I also give Indiana a lot of credit, but we definitely can't live this way. So whether we're going to have to change up schematically, that's one opportunity. I really do feel that we have some good players up there, but obviously we're not playing that way, and the numbers don't speak that. So we got to find the right answers in a short amount of time.
You're able to make some second half adjustments the last 2 weeks. Successfully, what didn't connect?
Yeah, I think when they scored right away in that first drive of the second half, again a couple of same things that hurt us in the first half. Some big play opportunities, obviously. I think we just kept constantly playing behind the sticks. It seems like they were second and medium, second and short, and converted on third downs. I know there was a 3rd and 4 right there to start the second half that really kind of caught us on our heels, and then obviously the 4th down conversion was a big one as well. Yeah, he went through warm-ups, but I think coming out of the warm-ups, he just didn't feel like he could open up and go. I know he was real close. I think he actually practiced Wednesday and Thursday. He got a little bit sore during that, but I think he felt he was going to be able to go. But when we got through with pregame warm-ups today, we obviously didn't put him out there.
When you say we just didn't have answers, what concerns you about not being able to figure that out?
Well, obviously we did a lot to get to this point, and I told our guys driving over here yesterday on the bus, I was excited to see this team play, and excited to play in this environment. But the way it unfolded, and it looked like we just didn't belong in that moment, and that was the concerning part to me. And I think the biggest thing that we have to do is, if we have good players, which I think we do, we have to be able to let them play fast. If we're giving them too much and they aren't able to perform because we're clouding them with anything that's in their head before the ball is snapped, I think that's something we got to really look at closely. I would rather do very few things and do them very, very well and be efficient in what we're doing than try to do too much.
What is the balance of you all seeing the game last week? You watched some guys like this game. What is the balance of whether to play guys late in the game or not?
Yeah, we literally didn't have any corners. Like seriously, I think we brought 10 DBs and 7 of them left the game, or 6 of them left the game. We had some guys that we were planning on just using them in special teams, but I've never been a part of anything like that. So it's just unfortunately, Matt was out there and he got a concussion, but we were also trying to make a stop, and because Sabor was his backup, Sabor was now playing a free safety after we lost Miles and Mac Rusevich, and then actually the third free safety is Grayson Griffin. We lost him as well too. So the only 3 free safeties usually bring three guys at every position, and those 3 guys were lost at that one position.
So your connection between the slow starts in the first half of all these 4 games, or do you think it's just a combination of a lot of things?
Well, obviously, I was kind of excited when we, hit the big touchdown play on the play action pass. So, defensively, we did some things early, but obviously not enough to sustain it. So, yeah, I mean, it's an easy assessment. But not only did we not play well in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, we stayed pretty consistent.
Aaron,
One more, please.
Bemoaned the missed tackles against Western Michigan, and some more tonight.
Yeah.
Do you see it becoming a trend?
Yeah, there was a lot of, there was a conscientious effort, I think, for guys who were trying to, punch a ball out, which I think can also be counterproductive. But there was too many times a day where we just had too many yards after contact, not just at the running backs, but also wide receivers. Obviously, there was a last touchdown there where it looked like we just, broke down an open space. But I also got to think about what we're asking our guys to do. Like some of those guys, Mac Rusevich had a missed tackle that was very similar to a play that Xavier had in game 2 that it's a tough angle for someone to come over there and tackle someone with ability. And so I think what we're asking our guys to do kind of plays into it a little bit as well.
Coach, you prepare for everything.
Yeah.
Sorts of scenarios. Do you have this one in your book somewhere?
Well, I obviously have never had myself against 2 ranked opponent teams play like that. So that's uncharted waters. But I do know this. I told our guys in the locker room, right? We have to own this moment, and the thing that we do need to take into account is our response, right? What the response is what's going to define us, right? Today happened. I get it. I understand it. It's something that we got to live through. Very disappointed for our football team, our coaches, our fans, anybody that had supported us to get to this point. We took a long time to build ourselves to get to this point, and we got to have the right response because USC is going to obviously take advantage of everything they see on film, and a very talented football team and a homecoming crowd that I know is excited to see their team play. So we have to have the right response. But I think the response that we're looking for is one of our 3 goals this week was to win your and our opportunity, right? And I was kind of trying to put it into a phrase to have all the players be accountable, and how the accountability of each of us individually affects all of us. And I think this is going to be the defining moment for sure.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, just very disappointed. Obviously, very a lot of frustration. It's sickening. It really is to go in full confidence, expecting to win. Like totally. Like just apologize to our fans, our team in general. I didn't play well tonight at all. Like I just didn't. But overall, like our whole team, just it's hard to face right now. But you got two options: either to sit around and mope and point the finger and feel bad for yourself, or get up and take advantage of the next opportunity. The next day, the sun's going to come up tomorrow, and you better make the most of it. Because next Saturday's coming for sure, and very confident in this tightly knit group that we will make the most of it. Absolutely, and but just very sickening, frustrating. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the last thing I'm gonna do is point the finger. I didn't play well. Like I didn't, and played with poor eyes, poor fundamentals all day. And credit to Indiana, for playing well and flying around, making it difficult for us. And but I didn't help us out in that fashion either in that world. So, but like I said, each individual I don't think played well tonight. That's just the bottom line. You put up a performance like that, but again, credit to them, Indiana. Go back and watch it and see it and move forward. But man, I love these guys. I love our team. Like we've been very successful with the same people that we just went out there on that field with, with the same 5 offensive linemen. Like we won 10 games last year with those guys. Like we'll figure it out. I know that. So yeah, I ain't gonna point the finger. I'll tell you that.
Did they throw anything at you defensively that maybe you didn't see on the film? Everything will make it for the defense?
I don't think so. For the most part, they're very, they're very variant and do a lot of different things and mix it up, which makes it difficult. They're a talented group. We expected to be challenged, and but there was opportunities where I could have, made a better play and played with poor eyes. I think like they just did a good job. Doing what they do and just mixing it up and making it hard for us. And we just didn't help ourselves out with, making plays and their set defenses. So, no, they were confident in what they were doing. They're flying around and kept us behind the chains for sure all night. And, but yeah, just sickening.
I don't think you were in halftime. What was the halftime like for you guys?
Yeah, just keep playing, like just one play at a time. Like all we got is what's ahead of us. Like I said, we have a tightly knit group that doesn't hang their head about anything. They ain't gonna quit, I'll tell you that. And a lot of positivity, a lot of optimism, a lot of adjustments, trying to be made, obviously, with the coaching staff and with us players. But we knew we had a half of football to play, and just going to put our best foot forward. Like we have an older group who's not going to pout and whine and complain and point the finger. Like just got to go make the most of the next play. And the adjustments were made and just couldn't figure it out, obviously. And so yeah, just gotta move on, take a good shower and wash it away. Whether we had success or failure, like the best athletes take the best showers, and move on and try to make the most of their next moment. So, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Can you pinpoint? I know you play well in any 4 quarters tonight, but like, can you pinpoint the slow starts in these first 4 games, especially in the first half, or has that been a different set of problems?
They're all each situation and first half slow starts unique to in its own way. I don't know. We have to go back and watch it. Just not executing. Like that's the bottom line. Like we just aren't executing at a high level or at a successful level in the first halves lately. And a lot of self-inflicted wounds, and got to figure it out. So I don't know. Well, but we better figure it out, and so, but each game's different in its own way. The teams we're playing, are doing a good job with what they're doing, obviously. But like I said, I'm confident in moving forward and just playing my best football. And so is this entire group, because we've done it before. We've been there and done that. We've been tested, had success. And I think we're gonna do some good things moving forward.
One more after this next elementary, but how comfortable are you in the pocket right now? Just with the pressure.
I play a lot of ball, seen a lot of different things, and I mean, I'm comfortable back there. I really am, and it's tough. They did a good job of just mixing up different things and making it hard for our offensive line and being on your back a lot and just isn't the most comfortable feeling in the world. But I get back up and I'm very confident in the next play, and I'm very confident in my 5 offensive linemen. They're going to do their best to get in the right call and protect that thing up. And but I didn't help our team out, either in a lot of those situations. But yeah, I've seen a lot of ball, a lot of different defensive looks, and I got to execute our calls within different front structures of them trying to attack our offensive line and our protections and things like that and pressures and stuff like that. So very comfortable. I got to make the plays when they're there.
Possible. A couple years ago, Penn State or a couple last year, Oregon. How do you not let one loss like this impact you moving forward?
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, he's got good leadership in the building. Coach Bielema, who's done this thing for a long time, got a great staff. Trickles on down to the leadership of my teammates and myself, and like I said, you gotta move on. Like, Saturday's coming. Next Saturday is going to be here, and the sun's going to come up tomorrow, and there's going to be work to be done to maximize it. And like I said, we've been through a lot. A lot of these players have played together and been through a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and know how to just keep moving forward. And we're a confident group with a lot of ability. And just tonight wasn't our night, obviously, and so you better maximize the day tomorrow and moving forward to put yourself in a good position and to stay level headed. And but yeah, praise God for God's still so good in every single moment, high and low, and we're gonna pick ourselves back up. That's what we do.
Thank you, guys. And we'll be ready.
Can you just explain your perspective tonight defensively and being able to score 8 and 9 drives?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't do enough right in multiple different facets, and the result of that was them able to move the ball at will almost. So got to get back to the drawing board this week, look at what we're doing, and as players, just control what we control, and try to get better as we move on, and keep climbing. It's week 4, so season's not over. All our dreams and our aspirations are still ahead of us. So just got to eat this shit sandwich and keep moving.
Coach Henry talked about missed tackles after the Western Michigan win. So more of that tonight. What have you seen when they were able to get lots of yards after contact with others?
Yeah.
Receivers or running backs?
Yeah, I mean the backs, the receivers, they were able to stay up well after contact, and that ended up hurting us. So same as the last question, we kind of just gotta go back to the drawing board. We gotta critique what we can to critique, and just be ready to put something better out next Saturday night.
RPO, they're real comfortable in that. What makes the way they go about the RPO a challenge for you guys?
Yeah, it's tough. They did a good job about it. They lull you to sleep on throwing the ball out there, and then they hand it off inside, and it's a tough thing to play against, and we got to find ways to take that away from teams, and so that we're able to take that away and just be stout in the run game.
How difficult is it for you guys as a unit when you keep losing guys to injury throughout the game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you'd love to have the 11 that you start the game, finish the game. It's hard to keep plugging and playing, and but that's the standard. It doesn't matter if it's the first team out there or the third team out there. We need to find a way to go out there and execute.
Seems like their speed and quickness was factoring the game a little bit. And you're going to play some other teams with similar athleticism here coming up. How do you counter that as a defense?
I mean, yeah, like you said, we'll be playing a lot of teams with speed. We played a lot of teams with speed across the years. So, I think, just got to move on from tonight. I don't think it's I don't think it's any skill discrepancy or anything along those lines. So just got to, again, eat the shit sandwich and keep moving.
You put a lot of ball. Is the missed tackles, can that be a thing that gets contagious from one week to the next, to the next, to the next, or can you flush it and get it stopped?
I mean, it can if you let it weigh on you, but I just think, I think it's important to have the flush it and just play the next play mentality. Because if you're living in the past, if you're worrying about if you're going to miss the tackle or not, at the end of the day, it's not going to allow you to play at your best potential.
One more. How do you do that? How do you, what are the next couple of days, the next week like for you guys to be able to learn from this rather than let it affect?
Right. I mean, Sunday we come in tomorrow, same time as always. We get the film in. We learn from the mistakes. We find out how we're going to critique it. We put that into play, and we attack this week like it's the next big week. I mean, a big quote that I like is, can you commit to the process without being emotionally tied to results? So we didn't have the result we wanted tonight, but at the end of the day, we got to commit to the process just as we did this week.
Anything else you can walk us through your personal emotions of after something, a loss of this caliber? Just walk us through the emotions of that after.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I think it's pretty plain and simple. It sucks, but it is what it is. Like I said, it's week 4. This is a long season. You can't let this eat at you. So it sucks. We're gonna feel it. We got a long bus ride here. We're gonna feel it. But I mean, tomorrow we're gonna come in. We're gonna make the corrections, and at the end of the day, we got to flush it and move on to USC.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.